Alright guys, Fulu coming to you with another video. I hope all of y'all are doing well, and I hope all of y'all are still prospering in these crazy odd times. I don't want to talk this is kind of political. Now that I think about it, it is kind of like a political subject. But all I'm going to say this, the video is not about Mr. Joe Biden, but don't let him cast a wool over your eyes, with all these these bills being passed for stimulus, these things being passed for all of that. Don't let him throw the wool over your eyes, because he's still up to something very sinister, and it's going to take place. I don't know when it's going to take place, but it's going to take place very soon. But this is not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about today is that, and I hate talking about this, but I gotta talk about it, unfortunately. But, in regards to the trial of the late, great Ermias Nipsey Hussle Ascodome, it doesn't take a genius to understand that, this thing was already rehearsed. They already knew that they were going to push this trial back. As a matter of fact, now that the new report came out that the trial is pushed back because the judge retired, they probably already knew the judge was going to retire way before the judge even got the case. He probably already put his notice of retirement in even before the Nip Hussle case. So they already knew what time it was. And it's just very sad. Because this is the thing. This is the messed up thing about this whole situation. You have not only, you have the fans who want justice for Nip Hussle, but then on top of that, doesn't the family deserve this? Doesn't the family deserve justice? Doesn't the family deserve closure? Doesn't the Eritrean diaspora, as well as continental Eritreans, deserve closure? I'm dead serious. This is ridiculous at this point. And I'm they're doing, it's just by design, man. It's just by design. And the messed up thing about this is that, when we look at all of our movers and shakers throughout our black history, and when I mean black history, I mean, be it African, continental African, I mean, be it Caribbean, I mean, be it right here in the United States, right here in South America, wherever there are black people, okay? That's what I mean. If you look at all of the movers and shakers, from the Thomas Sankara, from the Maurice Bishop, from the Samora Machel, from the Malcolm X, from the Walter Rodney, from the who else? Let me think. From the Amilcar Cabrals, from the Khalid Mohammeds, from all of those people, they all have one thing in common. Their deaths are unsolved. Nobody quite knows who killed them. And if we want to go into rappers, we can just name Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac Shakur. Nobody knows who quite killed them, right? There's only speculation. But when we look at all these movers and shakers, guess what? There's another thing that is in common. It's usually an inside job. It's usually co-opted by some disgruntled people who decided to take upon themselves, well, you know, if I can't be him, I might as well off him, rather than playing their position, right? So this is what we always see. It never fails. It never fails. All right? They always do this. It's always like this, okay? And guess who's spearheading the operation? Usually. It's always the CIA. Yeah, I'm not saying that Nipsey Hussle's murder was co-opted by the CIA. But all I know is there were definitely some big times involved in making sure that he was done. Because I'm going to tell you something. You know, I've said it in previous videos, but I have to reiterate it. If you are in LA, if you are in Los Angeles, especially if you are in South Central Los Angeles, you having a felony for gun possession doesn't mean crap. You're still going to carry, regardless, okay? Because although they are gentrifying South Central LA, and you do see like people jogging that you usually don't see people jogging, okay? It's still an active parking lot. It's still active. Slauson and Crenshaw is still very active, okay? In terms of people getting knocked off, all right? Now, what I'm saying this for is that people had guns in that parking lot when that shit happened. They just knew it was gonna happen, so they didn't do anything about it. That's what it really comes down to. Okay? So it's just messed up that they're doing this. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if the new judge throws away the case. I would not be surprised if the new judge says, you know what? This doesn't really concern me. I'm just going to throw away this case. I'm dead serious when I say, although Nipsey Hussle is very high profile, especially in the city of Los Angeles, the way they do these people is dirty. You know, when you look at Pop Smoke, when you look at, you know, the murderers of rappers, when you look at Chinch Drugs, the law enforcement don't really care. They don't really care if another like rapper is gone. In fact, they are elated when a person of influence who's black is gone. The police are very elated about it. So, with that being said, you have to understand this is what we're dealing with. Okay? So, you know, I just wanted to say that. And you know what? I know this sounds crazy. This is going to sound dumb crazy. Alright? This is going to sound very crazy. But I wouldn't be surprised if Eric Holders is not even in prison. I wouldn't be surprised if that dude is or in jail. I wouldn't be surprised if they already put that dude somewhere else in hiding. I really would not. I'm sorry. I just don't trust this system at all. I don't trust it. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm just going to say one more thing, or two more things. You know, I look at the situation, and there was something that happened today to let me know that you know, some of the Nipsey love was really fake. Okay, there's still some deep-rooted hatred in Los Angeles for Nipsey Hussle. All right, there was this one black dude. He was a pro-Trump dude, okay? And I think he was another one of these ADOS guys who said Nip Hussle was an anarchist and his ass was an East African. You know, that's what he said. That was his words, okay? And that he was an anarchist and he tore things up, right? So I say that to say that some of the love was really fake for a dude. You know, and there was still some deep-rooted animosity towards him. And now that animosity rears its ugly head at times. You know what I mean? And so I want to say two more things in addition to that. We can equate Nipsey Hussle's story to Malcolm X in certain aspects. You know, when Detroit Red was on the streets, he was on the streets. You know, he was a peddler, hustler, pimp. You know what I mean? When Nip Hussle was on the streets, he was Thundercat. You know, when Malcolm X found the Nation of Islam, he found another avenue for his like energy, right? We look at Nip Hussle, right? He found rap music as a means for his energy. Then we look at Malcolm X going to Hajj. Hajj changed his outlook a lot. We look at Nip Hussle going to his homeland, Eritrea. That changed his outlook, right? These are just a couple of things. Malcolm X wanted unity between all black people. Nipsey, you know, it was an unrealistic thing because, you know, protocol will still be protocol in gang culture. But Nipsey wanted unity between the sets, right? And unfortunately, Nipsey Hussle was assassinated by his own, just like Malcolm X. Like Malcolm X, Nipsey Hussle was under investigation even before they shot him. And I want to add one more thing. You know what? I'm dead serious when I say if this thing is not solved and they just really do some shady stuff, I'll probably end up leaving LA. I'll probably leave California. And it's not just because of the Nipsey thing. You have to understand something, man. Right now in California, as we speak, in Los Angeles, as we speak, as I am recording this video on this day, on January 23rd, 2021, there are about, I want to say, more than 60 homicides in Los Angeles this year alone. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about the shit that's going on in the city? And the police don't give a shit. The police don't care. Because if they did care, they would be having more energy towards trying to solve these problems. The police don't do their job here. They really don't. They show up after the fact. And they show up hours after the fact instead of trying to prevent the fact from going down. You know, so I'm really thinking that, you know, although the COVID has messed a lot of things up now, I'm really thinking that the energy in Miami is calling my name. Because I'm not gonna lie, that layover that I had over there on my way to Cuba, I'm you know, even that energy, even that air, even being able to walk outside at 1 o'clock in the morning to go get some tropical chicken. was very good in a tropical climate. Okay, I'm letting you know right now. That's what it was, you know. And I'm really thinking that, you know, this was better than what I have right now, you know. And so that's why I'm really considering that's why I'm really considering like going there. You know, the only thing holding me back is my damn boxing coach, because you know, my boxing coach, bro, like I really haven't met anyone like him in terms of how he teaches boxing. And I'm just wondering, you know, I mean, the only thing I can think of really is maybe possibly, you know, linking up with a Cuban coach in Miami, who can teach the same things he's teaching. You know what I mean? Because he teaches the same things like his way of boxing is very, very technical, very explosive, but very, very fundamentally sound. So it's like, man, like I gotta really tap into someone who's like him, you know. That's the thing. I mean, in Miami, you do have Fifth Street Gym, in which Muhammad Ali trained in, but I don't know if it's any different. I don't know if it's now a boutique gym or if they really get the work in there. You know, I don't really know. But man, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. Let me know if you think that, you know, there's some funny business going on in this whole Nip Hustle trial. And I'm not gonna even lie to you, man. He before he departed, he even told me this, that if he had to choose another place to live outside of California, he said he would choose Miami too. You know, he said he likes that place. And I can see why, man. But anyhow, man, this is Fula signing out. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Njara.